Today on How It's Made American Made, the top 5 race car countdown. Number 5, made in Indiana. Dragsters roar out of the installs the camshaft and then fastens the timing cover and give it the strength to handle. Number 4, made in Iowa. At first glance, a racing wheel doesn't look much different than a standard wheel. But look a little closer. There are subtle differences in the angles and contours that set it apart. They give it the strength to handle the extreme forces of racing and to corner well at high speed, which should have them cheering in the stands. The driver will get the trophy and the credit, but a good set of wheels is behind every win. They start with high-strength, low-alloy steel, which is a very stable material. The first of a series of die presses gives the center disc a concave profile and forms lug holes. The next press punches a hole for the hub and others called windows. Windows help cool the brakes while maintaining strength where needed. They stamp rings around the windows. This is called coining. The rings give the windows a nicer look, and the action compresses the steel to further strengthen the part. The next press is critical. It forces the disc into a bowl shape and gives it precise dimensions to accommodate brakes. The specific angles also reinforce the part. It has taken a lot of punching and pressing, but the center disc of this racing wheel has really taken shape. A smaller press now punches out the lug holes that were outlined earlier. These holes will allow the wheel to be mounted to a vehicle. Then the center disc goes for a spin as a series of tools trim it. The part is now complete. To make the rim, a machine unwinds coiled steel and rollers iron out the curl. A mechanical arm maintains slack as the flattened steel goes under the knife. The blade, called a shearer, cuts the steel to length. An operator now winds the steel between 3 rollers to twist it into a band. He then places the band into the jaws of a welder, which fuses the 2 ends together. Now, the band comes under some serious pressure as a machine forces it around dies at both ends to create flares. This rack transfers the rim to a series of rollers, which shape its inner ledge. They nestle the center disc loosely in the rim. As the rim spins, they heat the outside with a torch. This causes the steel to expand, and the center disc drops further into the rim. The 2 parts are now interconnected, and a welding job makes the bond permanent. A worker drills threaded holes onto the wheel to attach valve stems. After a fresh coat of paint, they apply a thread locking adhesive to the valve stems and screw them into the holes. The valves will be used to add air to the tires. And now this wheel is on a fast track to the finish line. Number 3, made in New Jersey. In race car engines, excess lubricating oil is stored in tanks rather than oil pans. This prevents the oil from sloshing around during the race and causing drag on the crankshaft. With less drag, performance is increased, so these oil tanks are part of a winning strategy. Each tank starts with a computer design. The engineer maps out the precise dimensions. They input the measurements into computerized machining systems. This first one cuts a long piece of aluminum into smaller pieces, creating blanks to make parts known as tank rings. A vertical milling tool sculpts a recess in the blank to seat an O-ring sealer. Then, switching bits, the machine contours the outside of the blank, taking it from rectangular to round. Other tools carve a large hole in the center and profile the inner diameter so that the part will mate to the tank. Like powerful cookie cutters, computerized punches cut out numerous parts from an aluminum sheet. They include the oil tank body, the top, and other assembly pieces. To make the tank body cylindrical, a worker turns a crank to curl it around a roller. This tank body is called the wrapper. He drills a hole in the bottom cone. The hole is for the line that returns lubricating oil to the race car engine. Using a thin bandsaw, he trims the cone to fit the tank ring. With a device known as a hydraulic tube bender, a worker shapes a piece of pipe to a precise radius. This pipe will be used to vent air into a chamber at the side of the oil tank. A worker welds the tank ring to the bottom cone, creating a thick seam all the way around. He then seals the seam of the cylindrical wrapper body and welds a top cap to a de-aerating baffle. Air will rise through it and vent it into and out of a side chamber, leaving only oil in the tank. He slides the baffle into the wrapper body. He inserts the vent tube in a hole on the side of the tank. He fits an adapter ring to the upper lip of the tank and taps it down with a rubber mallet. He welds the baffle and filler neck to the tank body, and then assembles the air vent chamber to the side of the oil tank and welds it to it. Moving to another station, a worker now taps perforated plastic inserts into holes in the air vent chamber. These inserts will both vent and filter the air from the tank. He fits a rubber sealing ring around the fill neck and screws the cap on. He caps the oil inlet tube to keep contaminants out during shipping. He turns the tank upside down and installs a valve on the bottom of the vent tank. After equipping the fittings on the cone with caps for shipping, he installs the cone on the base of the tank and screws the ring tightly to it. Hooked up to a system of pumps, these tanks will receive and dispense oil sparingly to improve engine performance. They've been well equipped for life in the fast lane. Association for Stock Car Auto Racing, which optimizes combustion valve and an exhaust valve. And finally, it sucks hot oil out of the engine, sends it to the oil radiator for cooling, then pumps it back into the engine that make up the clutch. Cars were souped-up family sit. They mold some of the car's body parts from a they glue to the edge of the mold. They insert a fitting and connect a vacuum, which sucks out air and excess epoxy resin. Then it's into a hot oven to bake for 3 hours. An employee removes the completed stock car panel and inspects it. Meanwhile, at another factory, work begins on the stock car chassis. They build it from square steel tubing that's super strong. An employee welds the pieces together to create a support structure for the car. At the next station, a worker forces narrow steel tubing against a spiral bit to carve notches in it. This tubing is for the roll cage, the structure that protects the driver if there's an accident. Once complete, the team transfers the roll cage to the mainframe of the chassis. They tack weld it before doing the final welds. The next part is called the rear clip. It holds the fuel tank and has mounts for the rear suspension. They now assemble the various steel and carbon fiber body parts to the stock car framework. Once the car has been painted, they apply headlight decals where the real ones usually are. Real headlights would add too much weight and pose a safety risk if they shattered. It's taken 3 weeks of intensive work, but this stock car body is now ready for the mechanics. Things are about to pick up speed.
Traveling to Volskaya Industries.
Build them up, break them down.
5, 4, together 3, we are strong. 2, 1. Attack commencing. Capture objective A.
Perseverance is the key. Go, Z-Sticles! Barriers on. Thank you.
Meteor!
This fight is not over.
Incoming!
Go!
Enemy turret ahead!
Get in there!
Taking the objective. Come on up.
Ready for battle.
Enemy turret destroyed.
Everyone, on the objective. I am taking the objective. Reinforce this position.
Yeah, let's move it,
steal. Double. Everyone on the objective.
Meteor!
Play of the game. Cease your resistance.
Bye.
Fire at will.
Traveling to Volskaya Industries. Select your hero.
Only through conflict will we evolve. This time, I will make sure we do not. Hello there.
A warrior's greatest weapon is patience.
Hey there.
Attackers incoming in
Hello
30
there.
seconds.
I don't even feel the cold.
Hello.
Rising fist.
I wish I brought my stick
Thank
and
you.
pads. I'm sure I
Hello.
could have found a pickup game here.
Thanks.
Get out my way, come on.
4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
Healing boom!
I'm not finished.
I will protect the innocent. Defend the point. Strike as one.
Objective lost. New defense point. Objective B.
Mercy as summoned. I'm gonna have to shoot you down. Routing towards forward barrier.
Move back. I am empowered. Defend the objective. I will not fail again.
Meteor strike!
No one can hide.
Tactical visor activated. Always too early. My arrow finds its mark.
Damage amplified.
Thanks for the assist.
I'm back in the fight.
I require healing.
Blazing the ball.
Clearing the area.
Time to read my
Oh, let's break it.
No one can hide from my sight.
Come on, we need to get control of the point.
Systems at max.
Biotic field activated.
Tango down. Move back.
Up the volume.
Mecha activated.
Clearing the area. Justice reigns from above.
Heroes never die. For a price.
Back online.
the point!
Get back.
Get on the objective.
Meteor strike!
Back into the
No
fray.
one can hide from my sight.
Defend the point! Tactical visor activated.
Right ahead.
Nerf this.
Mercy as
Back in action. Tango down. Oh.
Let's up the tempo.
My team needs me.
You feel that?
Much better.
Let's get you back out there.
No one can hide from my sight.
Enemy contact.
Thanks.
Where does it hurt?
I am power.
Behind you. Get on the
In 60 seconds.
We have to
Heroes never die. For a price.
down. Hello there.
Time to heal up.
Seconds remaining.
Keep your heads down. We've almost got this.
Oh, yeah!
Thanks for the assist.
Enemy spotted. No one can hide from my sight.
10 seconds.
Justice reigns from above.
Oh, let's break it! Damn! Passed up.
All systems.
Victory. Play of the game. Double
Обнаружено несанкционированное проникновение.
traveling to Horizon Luna Colony. Select your hero.
Build 'em up, break 'em down.
Honor.
They all thought you were dead.
Well, I had to come back. I was worried.
Gilda.
Not being easy.
Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
There's nothing I haven't seen before. Stick together. We will complete our mission. Everyone does.
I foresee great things for you.
5,
Let's go.
3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Defend objective.
I need armor. I require armor.
Such potential.
Traveling to Hanamura. Prepare your defenses. Select your hero.
Build them up, break them down.
I might need this later. Translocating.
There's nothing I haven't seen before. Stick together. We will complete our mission.
Hey. Acknowledged.
Beacon in place. See you later.
Attackers incoming in
Storing
30
your health.
seconds.
Such potential. Glory to be won. Let's get started. Battle. Let's hear the hello.
I require armor.
Ole, muévela.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
Get behind.
I have located the enemy.
That's it. Hammer time. Armor here. Don't worry, my friend. Can always use more.
Enemy turret destroyed. Enemy turret ahead.
Ahorita regreso.
You're good as new. Thank you, my friend. Don't worry, I'll patch you up. Come get your armor.
Healing it up.
Show them what you can do. Turn on that.
Double kill.
Come get. Thank you, my friend. Don't worry, my friends.
Damn, I think I just
I
got play the
foresee
game.
great things for you. Let's do this.
Teleporter online. Understood.
I'm out of scrap. Armor over.
Thank you.
administered.
Armor here.
Photon barrier deployed.
Arigato.
Barrier active. Armor over here. Armor up.
Gracias.
Dahil
Need more scrap. Barrier destroyed. Slide. Back in the fight. Hold it together.
تعلم من الألم.
60 seconds remaining.
I need armor. My ultimate is ready.
Meteor strike. Turret being destroyed. My turret. I am
30 seconds remaining.
Do not let that. Victory will soon be ours.
Look at you. Thank you, my friend. Out of scrap.
10 seconds remaining.
I'm on fire. That's what I mean.
Double victory. Play of the game. Triple kill. Quadruple kill. Epic.
Excellent.
Prepare to attack. Select your hero.
Cheers, love! The cavalry's here!
Where did you hide your treasure? You could hardly have it on your person.
Treasure? Sure, I don't know anything you're talking about.
Let's get to it already!
No! Attack commences in 30 seconds.
We shall prove ourselves in glorious combat!
What a bunch of misfits and freaks we got here. I love it.
Five, four, three, Capture objective A.
Barrier activated.
Sniper! Enemy turret ahead! Back in the fight! Back in the fight! Enemy turret down!
Get me.
Wicked!
My arrow finds its mark.
Walk it off.
One time.
Back in the fight! Pulse bomb ready!
Healing enough.
I'll capture this objective myself if I have to.
Get healed.
I am securing the objective.
Ever get that feeling of danger?
Objective A captured. Commence attack on objective B.
Now, where were we? Enemy turret down!
Enemy turret destroyed.
Back in the fight!
Enemy is here.
Огонь по готовности!
Claim the objective.
Back to work! Join me! Group up here!
Personne n'échappe à mon regard.
Wicked!
Walk it off.
My ultimate is ready.
This! Much better! Jade! Now, where were we?
Nanoboost is
Back
ready
in
to
the game.
deploy. Dahi wieder.
Barrier activated. We're all soldiers now.
Justice reigns from above!
Hatched up.
Sniper! I think you win!
I am securing the objective. Get in here!
Nerf this! Time to raise. I think it takes a little under. Ejecting! I'm not a good loser. My ultimate is charging. Bailing out.
Watch your back.
Let's drop the beat.
Hiya. 冻住，不洗澡。
60 seconds remaining.
Nerf this.
Imagination is the essence of discovery.
I am.
Justice reigns from above!
Excuse me for dropping in.
30 seconds remaining.
Make every second count! Crush their defenses!
Para reporting.
Attack now, we lose.
Mecha activated. Heading up on the objective.
Team kill. Victory. Play of the game. Double kill. Triple kill.